My God, I hate drugs.
The question is, the Constitution states that the public should be informed in case of serious illness of the President of the Philippines. Should the President authorize the issuance of medical bulletins about his health? Yes or no? Everybody, General Bato, kanino po kayo tumitingin?
Kay Secretary Tolentino.
Yes na yes na yes. Ang daming yes, lahat po. Yes.
Yeah, everyone said yes. Siguro, gusto ko lang tanungin natin si General Bato, ba't siya nakatingin kay Secretary Francis?
Sir, pakisagot in 5 seconds.
Titignan ko mga kakampi ko kung anong sagot nila. Kakampi ko si Francis Tolentino, tsaka si JB Ercito. Magkakampi ko yan eh.
Okay, sige.
In unison.
Para pare-pareho sila.
United we
Tama
stand.
naman. Divided.
Divided we fall.
Okay, next question, please.
Okay, our next question is about political dynasties, and we'd like to ask Senator Juan Ponce Enrile. This is a specific question. Senator Juan Ponce Enrile and, of course, Presidential Advisor Francis Tolentino. Critics say political dynasties weaken democracy. Those who support this practice say people have the right to vote.
You know, this problem of political dynasty should be addressed to the electorate. We are a democracy. If brothers and sisters or parents and children are capable to serve the people, why deny their service to those people? Let the electorate determine who should be their leaders and who should not be. We cannot legislate that. We cannot even put it in the Constitution. That's my position.
Even if, Senator, there is that provision?
Beg your pardon?
Even if there is that provision? A provision, sir, in the Constitution for that.
The provision in the Constitution is that cannot be implemented because it's impractical.
It is because it is
You know, if you are
impractical.
a democracy, it is the function of the people to select the people that will govern them or lead them. And how can you tell the people that they do not want to vote for this family or that family? Let them decide who should lead them in their respective localities or provinces or in the nation for that matter.
All right, sir. Let's ask former Presidential Advisor Francis Tolentino, sir.
Primordial in the Constitution is the precept that sovereignty resides in the people. As what Senator Enrile said, let the people decide. Within the next few days, I was watching CNN inside the holding room. Within the next few days, you will hear the memorial of former U.S. President George Walker Bush. That's also considered as a political dynasty in the United States. The family that restored the prestige of the military forces of the United States was a product of Bush I and Bush II. So I think the people will have to decide kung payag ba kayo na ito yung magme-mayor nyo, payag ba kayo, ito yung vice mayor nyo, gobernador ninyo, let the people decide. Marami pong political dynasty sa Pilipinas na maganda naman po ang ginagawa.
Alright, our next question. Nabanggit na po kanina ang China at West Philippine Sea. This question is related to the recent state visit of Chinese President Xi Jinping. This question is for Congressman Alejano and former Senators Osmeña and Enrile. Should the Philippines partner with China and conduct joint oil and gas exploration in the West Philippine Sea? Congressman Alejano.
Well, I don't agree that we should have a joint exploration with China. Let us all remember that whatever relationship we have with China right now, whether political or economic, lahat ito ay may connection sa West Philippine Sea because they're using this strategy on pushing us to the edge in order for us to agree with what they want. So pag tayo ay sinasabing hindi natin kayang i-defend ang ating sarili, mahina tayo, and therefore we should agree with friendly relation, tourism, investment, pautang. Pag pumasok ko tayo dito, this is a trap. Pag napatibong na tayo dyan, gaya na nangyari sa ibang bansa, nalubog sila sa utang, pagdating ng panahon, they cannot assert their sovereignty. Example po, sa Sri Lanka, ang kanilang mga proyekto na malalaki na sana magbibigay ng malaking economic development sa Sri Lanka, pagdating ng panahon ay hindi bumagsak sa kamay nila, kundi sa kamay ng Chinese. Dahil nabaon sila sa utang. Ang isang example ay sa bansang Tajikistan. Nagkaroon sila ng conflict sa border, sabi ng China, huwag na tayong mag-away, tutulungan ka namin. But at the end of the day, 80% ng external debt niya ay galing sa China at nagkaroon ng negotiation dahil ang relationship na ginagawa ng China ay bilateral and confidential. That means walang nakikialam ng iba and by case-to-case basis pag hindi ka makabayad. So at the end of the day, binayad ng Tajikistan ay 1,154 square kilometers of its territory, disputed territory. So it will happen also to the Philippines, na tayo papasukin muna, na kaibigan tayo, pautangin tayo, pagdating ng araw di natin kayang bayaran ng ating utang, pwedeng West Philippine Sea ang pangbayad sa ating bansa. Kaya nga, marami pang sources na pwede tayong pagkautangan. Dahil maliwanag na may conflict of interest ang relationship natin sa China. I am not saying we don't talk to China. By all means, we should talk to China. But let us all remember that this is part of the bigger strategic objective of China to pull the Philippines within its influence and for China to become the global dominant power. Hindi po isolated na Pilipinas. They will not change the strategy for the sake of the Philippines. Kaya nga, meron silang influence on our policies, economy, and culture. So, I don't agree na papasok po tayo dyan dahil yan ay maliwanag na patibong.
Okay, next, Senator Juan Ponce Enrile, you're next, sir.
What's the difference between allowing Shell to enter into a contract for the exploration of oil and natural gas in West Philippine Sea against China doing it for us? It all depends upon the terms and conditions of the agreement that we can work out with China. Second, China is a reality for us. We cannot ignore it. Our geography tells us that we cannot transfer our land somewhere else so that we can ignore the presence of China in our region. So we have only two options on this matter. Either we use diplomacy, talk to China, or we use force. What force do we have to deal with China? We do not have. The only option available to us is to talk to China, since they are willing to talk to us, and then we talk about the terms and conditions of the exploration of natural gas and oil in the West Philippine Sea for the benefit of the Filipino people, instead of using emotion or braggadocio or whatever, or politics in order to thwart a possible beneficial good that will come to the Filipino people through an exploration of natural wealth in the South China Sea. That's my position.
Thank you, sir. Senator Serge Osmeña.
I agree that we should go into a co-exploration agreement with China, but the split there should be 60-40 in our favor because we own the land. So if it is 60-40 in our favor, let's do it. We'll go into a co-exploration with China. Now, there's another thing that I'm bothered about. China has a seismic ship. We do not have a seismic ship. So if that seismic ship is Chinese and the letters are all Chinese, hindi nila sasabihin sa atin kung ano nangyayari. So we have to use a seismic ship from a third country, like England, Australia, or the United States, so that they will be able to tell us what they found. But if China agrees to 60-40, by all means, let's do it. No problem.
All right, thank you, Senator. All right, our next question is this. We are seeing a spike in the entry of Chinese workers in the country. The Labor Department says they issued alien employment permits to some 50,000 workers a year from 2015 to 2017. In the first 3 months of 2018, more than 21,320 alien employment permits were issued. This question is for Attorney Chel Diokno and Senator Bam Aquino. How do we regulate the entry of these Chinese workers so qualified Filipinos are not denied these new jobs? Attorney Diokno, let's start with you.
Ginagamit po nila yung mga butas sa atin batas para makapasok yung mga dayuhan na trabahador sa atin. It's quite easy, I believe, to fill up those loopholes in the law. You see, they have taken advantage of the visas that are given to tourists and made that as their gateway into our country. Sa akin lang ay, it's very clear, nasa atin sa Ligang Batas yan, nasa ating labor code, ang dapat mauna sa pagbibigay ng trabaho ay mga kapatid natin, mga kapwa Pilipino. Kung ano man ang kailangan para maayos natin yung mga butas na yan at nagsagawa naman ng ating Senado ng isang investigasyon, mukhang alam na natin kung ano yung problema, palagay ko ay madali nang ayusin yan basta't meron tayong political will at wag na naman natin buksan ang pinto sa iba at isesara natin ang pinto sa ating mga kapwa Pilipino.
Senator Bam Aquino?
Dadagdagan ko yung sinabi ni Dean Shell, no? Apart from creating a law to clarify the loopholes,